Aita for not allowing my 13-year sister in my home because she is a bully and bad influence on my young kids. I'm 27. My sister, 13, is the biggest bully I have ever met in my life. She, quite literally, does everything in her power to completely belittle everyone around her. Some examples of her actions in the past within my home: threatening me, saying shut up already whenever I say anything to anyone. If they come over for dinner, she will say this is disgusting and push the food away, turn to my mom and say can we leave this dump and go get real food. She will put Cardi B and other rap videos on YouTube on my Xbox knowing that my kids are not allowed to watch it, and then turn around and call me ignorant for turning it off. Tries getting my young kids to use swear words, says gross, get away from me whenever my dog is in her general vicinity, and if my husband is talking she will instantly stare him down and then say why did you marry him again, has ducking retarded. As I said, she is 13 years old and is already acting like a massive bitch now. The thing is, she has always been the problem child. She has never listened to my mother and has caused my mom a lot of grief as a result. Whenever she has tried to discipline her, my sister comes back swinging literally, or will completely belittle my mother with words that should never be said to a parent. She acts exactly like that. Cash me outside. How about that girl that was viral a few years back? So, the other day my mom called and asked if she could come over. I went silent, truly debating on whether or not I should say it, but in the end, I don't want my kids around my sister under any circumstance, so I told my mom you can come over if you find somewhere for Natalie to go. I've mulled over it for a while, and I don't want her in my house. My mom, who has every right to be upset, because we both know that no one will take Natalie because of her behavior, started crying and said that just because my sister is an R doesn't mean I should cut her off. Aita? NTA. You have to put your own children first, and it is completely fine for you to want her influencing your kids. Your mother also needs to get her in therapy as soon as possible, because she is going to a much bigger problem in a few years if nothing is done. She did put my sister in therapy back a couple years ago, but even at age 11, she berated her therapist to a point where the therapist made the decision to no longer see her. She has tried multiple other therapists and the end result is always the same. Yeah. Regular therapists are not equipped for antisocial personality disorder. This probably needs a proper psychiatrist, medication, and if that doesn't help, inpatient care. NTA. As a parent, it's your duty to protect your children, especially from other family members, since they're the ones who are supposed to care about your kids the most, and thus whose toxic behavior is the most damaging. My mom started crying and said that just because my sister is an R doesn't mean I should cut her off. That's an absolutely perfect reason to cut her off. Why else does she think people cut other people off? We cut people off because they're assholes, and we are tired of their shit. While I agree that Op is NTA, I don't think Op's mum is one. She honestly just sounds like she needs help as well and is at the absolute end of her line. It reminds me of when my younger brother was having major issues. He was refusing to go to school and just generally being awful. My mother was having a really hard time with it and would break down crying a lot. NTA. Your sister is an asshole. That is exactly a reason you should cut her off. Came to say this. Being an R is reason enough to not want that person in one's life. Sorry for Op's mom. That's obviously hard for her to take it, that Op doesn't want to see her sister. But the brat is her child, not Op's. Op is a grown adult that can choose to see whoever she wants and has no responsibility towards her sister. Maybe that will be a wake-up call for the brat sister. If not, well, that's life. All the people in her life will cut her off from this one by one. It's definitely not an easy situation for Op's mom. But like you said, Op is grown, and her sister isn't her problem. I don't think enough people realize that you don't have to deal with assholes/toxic people like that. I've simply stopped associating with some, and my life has been significantly better since. It's like a huge weight being lifted off your shoulders. NTA, you're making a decision for you and your family that you feel comfortable with. You're not cutting your mother off, since you told her she could still come over, just not the sister. Your sister being out of control is not your problem. It's your parents and they need to be the ones to deal with it. Kudos to you for standing your ground to protect your own kids from a possibly toxic person. I don't disagree, but how would she ever see her mother if no one can take her sister? That implies a mother will always need to be with her, thus she won't see her mother. Her mom could be hurt by the idea of never seeing her other daughter and being fully alone in her situation. NTA, protecting your children is your literal job as a parent. Imagine a 17 years old strange boy was doing the same. It would not be seen as harmless. Girls can be abusive too. This sounds like your sister may legitimately have a mental/personality disorder. She needs treatment before she starts assaulting your mother. I told my mom the same thing multiple times. My mom has tried getting her therapy and she belittles the therapists to a point where they will no longer see her. She has spoken to doctors who think she may have bipolar disorder, but my sister always confronts it by saying no. I have a people are ducking stupid disorder. It's just so over the top, and she has acted like this for years on end. She's always just been insanely mean. I think your mom needs to find specialists for these. Abnormal pathology/psychiatry. This might be a medical condition. Link. lumenlearning.com/abnormal psychology/chapter/oppositional defiant disorder odd conduct disorder CD/. Do they live in the same area? If so, why can't mom visit you, but leave Natalie at home alone? 13 is old enough. We live in separate towns, about a half hour away. However, my sister got into some trouble back a year ago after posing nude on a live webcam, and she can no longer be trusted alone. My mom, per request of the police, is not allowed to leave my sister unsupervised. NTA. But I think your sister needs psychiatric help or inpatient treatment. I'm not an expert, but a 12-year-old posing nude on webcam, being able to manipulate and belittle therapists to a point where they give up on being cruel, all around sounds a bit like sociopathic behavior or some other kind of intense personality disorder. Your mother needs to step up and help your sister, even if it means getting her committed to a psychiatric ward. This behavior will not go away. It will only get worse, and you should protect your children from this. NTA. Unless she learns some manners, there's no reason she should be around your kids. Doesn't matter if she's your blood. She's mean and rude, and you don't want that rubbing off on your children. You have every right to decide who comes in your home. NTA. She is old enough to understand, but she has always gotten her way, so why to stop? Now her attitude has gotten extra boost from her teenage brain, which always is self-centered, and she is this, and plus 100% on top of that. I feel bad for your mom though. NTA. Her type of behavior is exactly why you should cut people off. NTA. Being an asshole is a perfectly appropriate reason to cut someone off. NTA. Her behavior is exactly why you would cut someone off. NTA. Honestly, she's 13, her mom should get her some help. Can we all be reasonable here and stick NA instead of NTA? It sounds like Op's mother has tried to get Op's sister therapy. The therapist has washed their hands of it and is at their wits' end. Totally agree Op shouldn't let her in their house round their kids. But also sounds like Op mother has been dealt some tough cards which I'm not sure would be well equipped to deal with. My mom, who has every right to be upset because we both know that no one will take Natalie because of her behavior, started crying and said that just because my sister is an R doesn't mean I should cut her off. Yes it does. Protect your children. NTA. Suggest you tell mom to call the county and put the child up with their rules and regs. Natalie, you are now ward of the state. NTA. And your mom should put her in one of those brat camps for a while. I've suggested it. NTA. Your mom should understand that your sister's behavior impacts her own grandkids. Tell your sister you will have a relationship with her when shows more respect and make no apologies to anyone for how you feel. NTA. And that is a perfect reason to cut someone off. If a child can't treat her adult sister and her family with respect and feels the need to be an asshole, she loses all right to expect people to put up with her. It will be funny though when she is an adult wondering why she can't keep friendships and relationships. NTA. Sounds to me like nothing works. Maybe military school would, or similar high discipline environment. It's not for everyone but worth a look. NTA. Any way to get sister committed into her in-house faculty for behavior therapy. She is a danger to herself, posting nudes on webcam. If I'm reading your comment correctly. NTA. You are a mother and your first duty is to your own children. But if your sister is really that bad, then I feel for your mom. If it's possible, you might think about leaving your kids at home and going to visit your mom alone to check on her. I'm not sure about what all has been tried for your sister. Whatever is going on with her is calling for some drastic measures. Right now your sister is running things because of her actions, and without meaning to your mom, could be enabling your sister's behavior. Does your sister still have internet access at home? Do you fear for your mom's safety? Is your mom in therapy? Even if your sister isn't? If your mom is unable to leave your sister unsupervised, does that mean she works around your sister's school schedule? How does your sister behave in school? What have the teachers been doing that works? NTA. You have to protect your family. Because I'm also petty. If the sister asks why you don't want her around, be just as harsh and say that she's not someone you want around anymore, and in the same tone as she would deliver. Every single time your sister assaults your mother needs to have her arrested. Right now, your sister has no repercussions to her actions. Nobody wants to deal with her anger, so she'll get away with her shit. If your mom doesn't nip this in the bud now, your sister's behavior will escalate to worse things. NTA. NTA. Your sister needs to be put in a reform school. Your mom needs to stop being weak. I don't advocate for child abuse, but your sister needs a slap in the mouth. I would start sending mom reform school and halfway house pamphlets. NTA. No parent isn't able to control their kid. Your mom is a pushover and an enabler. You bring kids into the world knowing that you're responsible for their behavior. NTA. You can't allow toxic people in your life, even if they're family. NTA. You are doing the exact right thing. One day she is going to learn that being a bully gets you nothing. She will have no friends and no job. Because who in the world would want such a toxic person in their lives? By the sounds of things, she would benefit from going to military school. Your mother isn't doing her any sort of favors by allowing her behavior to continue. I know you said your mom has tried to get her help, but she shouldn't stop doing that because of past failures. Your mom needs to give her consequence for behaving badly towards other people/family. Good luck with your situation. NTA. I saw in another comment that she was extremely rude to her therapist. She needs to go to those camps that straighten up unruly children. Now because your sister is an R absolutely means you should cut her off. 13 is old enough to understand that there are consequences to her behavior. Or at least to start learning that lesson in some very hard ways. Whatever happened to that cash me outside chick anyway? I heard she's doing better now. She uses the money she got or is still getting to help her mom pay her bills. NTA. After reading a few of your replies, I'm certain your sister needs to be nowhere near your children. I see your sister has some serious issues that are going to require a lot of therapy and work on your mother's part. It may be she was indulged to a faulty degree as a child after your dad died, or some other issue. Maybe it's chemical, but your mom needs to get pushing for different therapists/psychiatrists until she finds one which can handle this kid. NTA. Your younger sister sounds like a psychopath. Military school. NTA. NTA. Saying the dog is disgusting and telling it to go away did it for me lol. No. You sister is an asshole and that's exactly why you should cut her off. NTA. And frankly I'd take a long hard look at your mom here. This kid didn't get like this out of nowhere. She was allowed to be this way. NTA. No way would I want her influencing my kids, nor would I put up with a child treating me that way in my own home. Sister or not, your mom needs to get some help to get this under control. Imagine being 27 and being bullied by a 13-year-old. !AUTOMOD. The following is a copy of the above post. This comment is a record of the above post as it was originally written. In case the post is deleted or edited, read this link. Reddit. com//amitehsole/wiki/wiki_post_deleition before contacting the mod team link. reddit.com/message/compose to equals %2fr%2 fam idasol. I'm 27F. My sister, 13, is the biggest bully I have ever met in my life. She, quite literally, does everything in her power to completely belittle everyone around her. Some examples of her actions in the past within my home: threatening me, saying shut up already whenever I saw anything to anyone. If they come over for dinner, she will say this is disgusting and push the food away. Turn to my mom and say can we leave this dump and go get real food. She will put Cardi B and other rap videos on YouTube on my Xbox knowing that my kids are not allowed to watch it, and then turn around and call me ignorant for turning it off. Tries getting my young kids to use swear words. Says gross, get away from me whenever my dog is in her general vicinity. And if my husband is talking she will instantly stare him down and then say why did you marry him again? Has ducking retarded. Apostrophe. As I said, she is 13 years old and is already acting like a massive bitch. Now the thing is she has always been the problem child. She has never listened to my mother and has caused my mom a lot of grief as a result. Whenever she has tried to discipline her, my sister comes back swinging, literally, or will completely belittle my mother with words that should never be said to a parent. So, the other day my mom called and asked if she could come over. I went silent, truly debating on whether or not I should say it. But in the end, I don't want my kids around my sister under any circumstance. So I told my mom you can come over if you find somewhere for Natalie to go. I've mulled over it for a while and I don't want her in my house. My mom, who has every right to be upset because we both know that no one will take Natalie because of her behavior, started crying and said that just because my sister is an R doesn't mean I should cut her off. Aita, I'm a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit /message/compose/to/r/amitehsole if you have any questions or concerns. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.